Let's talk about my most used fragrances. So a couple of days ago, I did a declutter video where I ranked all my fragrance collection. I went from my most used fragrances to my least used fragrances and decluttered, of course, from the ones that were not used. But I didn't share with you what are the winners. So the fragrances that are the most used ones over the years. And I'm talking about fragrances that made it to the list of the most used fragrances for over 2 years. I have here 10 fragrances, which you can say are not only my most used fragrances, but my most loved fragrances. These are tried and true fragrances that withstood the test of time. They made it through every single declutter, and my love for them is endless. I've used them so much. I'm not going to rank this video because some fragrances I used more in 1 year over the other. So at the end, I have one winner, which I'm going to share with you, one honorable mention, and 2 fragrances that belong to a specific category. So let's get into it. Starting with my honorable mention, and it is Spiritus Double Vanille from Guerlain. This is the best vanilla ever. It's elegant, it's well balanced, versatile. I sometimes even wear this one in summer, not during the day, but for the evening. So easygoing, but yet so chic and regal. You have vanilla, you have a little bit of a smoky touch, a little bit of pink pepper. Guerlain makes the best vanilla and also makes the most well-balanced fragrances, in my opinion. I've never smelled a Guerlain fragrance where I can say, oh, I wish that this or that note was like a little bit less or more. And this is the case of this one. A masterpiece. If you love vanilla, like this is the best. Now it's an honorable mention because technically I have this fragrance now only for 2 years, but I'm sure it's going to make it for this year's list. And I actually have to stop myself using this fragrance because I love the old bottles. Like actually I went into great length to get the old bottle because the new ones, I'm not like the biggest fan. They are nice, they're not bad, but compared to the sleek, chic bottle, no. I just love this one. So sometimes I just find myself stopping and not wearing this fragrance just because I don't want to finish it because I want this bottle. Anyway, Spiritus Double Vanille is the best vanilla. If you love vanilla, you have to check this fragrance. Now, before going to the 10 fragrances, I want to mention a fragrance that I compared to Spiritus Double Vanille previously, and I'm talking about Encore une fois. That fragrance I discovered in December last year, and I fell in love. I bought the fragrance actually quite recently, and I've talked about that before, but for anyone who missed that video, the sample smelled, I wanted to say, like a better Spiritus Double Vanille, if that is even possible, but the fragrance doesn't smell like the sample. And I got it from the same place, and it's from Jevois, so not like a fake or something. So my doubt that the vanilla needs some maturation. Vanilla is one of the ingredients that when you leave it, it becomes stronger and sweeter with time. So I'm not sure, but I think this is the case. So this is why I am not mentioning or speaking about Encore une fois. I want to leave it for at least 6 months and then revisit the fragrance and see if it is the case or not. Now let's get to the 10 fragrances. Starting with a specific category, because these fragrances are always my used fragrances. Like these are actually the fragrances that I finish. I rarely finish a fragrance, but the fragrances that belong to this category in particular, I rarely repurchase. And I'm talking about after the shower scents. Of course, these are the most used ones, especially in summer. I just go crazy with these fragrances. Also because I usually go for cheap and affordable fragrances for this category. I have 2. First one is Osmanthus, as you can see the dent. This is just a very easygoing, fruity floral fragrance. Of course, mostly you are getting Osmanthus here with some apricot. It's so beautiful, just easygoing, happy, fresh fragrance. And it has enough freshness for me to use it also during summer. So I absolutely love this fragrance. This actually, I may repurchase. And it is quite affordable because it is from L'Occitane. The second one you will see is almost finished. I'm sure this will be finished. Once the temperature arrives to 30, I am sure I am going to finish this baby. This is Fleur de Thé from Karl Lagerfeld. And this one, I'm almost 100% sure I'm not going to purchase it. Why? It was not an impulsive buy, by the way. I actually fell in love with this fragrance. And then I said, I will wait, and I've tested 3 times, and then I went ahead and bought it. It's mostly a tea, musky, fresh fragrance. Why? Because the musk here is a little bit cheap. So for after the shower, it is perfect. Like I have a lot of fragrances for after the shower, but I always gravitate towards this one in particular in summertime. So it's quite a functional fragrance, but I just rotate through fragrances when it comes to this category in particular. Now let's get to the fragrances that are for me true winners. Starting with a fragrance that will represent a line, because a fragrance from that line has been in my collection, I would say for over 6 years, and it has always been my most used one. And I'm talking about Light Blue from Dolce & Gabbana. I used to have the intense version, which was, I would say, 70% empty when I decluttered it. I actually ended up not decluttering it and just putting it as an after the shower scent in the bathroom last year. This is the flanker of 2022, if I'm not mistaken, and it is, for me, the best from the line. It actually was a bestseller for a while because they left this flanker for 2 years, which they never do. So if you don't know Light Blue, the only stable fragrances from Light Blue is the Eau de Toilette and the Intense. All the rest are flankers, so limited edition fragrances that come out in the summer. I actually can't wait to test a new one. I think it's called Loving Capri or something like that. Yeah, can't wait because the note's quite unique. Anyway, returning to this one. This is for me, and this is why I decluttered the Intense version. This is a better, more complex and more expensive smelling version of Light Blue. You still have the DNA. You get the DNA of Light Blue here, but it's less aquatic, more fruity, and a little bit more woody in the base. I just love this fragrance. Highly recommended. You can still get it, by the way. Next, I have Missed Your Blooming Bouquet. Anyway, what is the dent in this fragrance? I used, I think, 3 decants or something of this fragrance before this bottle. Since I got this fragrance, it has been in the most used fragrances every single year because I absolutely love this fragrance. It's peony, it's rose, it's musky, it's elegant, it's easygoing, it's feminine. Spring and summer in a bottle. By the way, you can see I have the old one with the plastic bow, and also the backups that I have is also from the old formulation. They reformulated the fragrance, they repackaged it, but at the end they did a great job, I have to say. It was just in the opening was a little bit more fruity, if I remember correctly, but the dry down was almost identical, like 98%. So thankfully they did not change the scent, and I hope they will never discontinue it because this is a must-have in my collection. This is one of my most loved and used fragrances. I love Blooming Bouquet, and although it doesn't have like the best performance, I just don't care. It is so beautiful and so feminine and just the perfect scent to put in the morning in spring and summer when you are getting ready and you just feel feminine and ready for the day. Love it. Speaking, of course, of Blooming Bouquet, for me it's sister because they are interchangeably for me. And this is why in some years I use one over the other. And I'm talking about Chanel Chance au Tendre. You can see the dent. I would say overall I used Blooming Bouquet more than Chance au Tendre, I think. But I don't know. Chance au Tendre is again this very musky, fruity floral. The star floral note here is hyacinth. It has also a little bit of a powderiness. Honestly, this fragrance is just rose for me. Rose as in the color, a rosy, plush pink fragrance. It's so feminine and girly and elegant at the same time. You will know Chanel. You can't find a fragrance from Chanel that is not elegant. It's just, I would say, impossible. This is just a fragrance that is very hard to dislike. I never saw anyone not liking this fragrance. Like, they may not love it, it may be not their scent profile, but hating it, no, never. So it's one of the safest blind buy, I would say. This is the eau de toilette. The eau de parfum is the same. Like, I could also wear the eau de parfum, no problem. I just prefer a little bit more the eau de toilette because it is more fresh in a way, more bright. Speaking about chance, the next two. I love the line, what can I tell you? I'm actually thinking about doing a buying guide on the line. Tell me in the comments down below if you are interested. So I have here Eau Vive and Eau Fraiche. Eau Fraiche is older than Eau Vive, and you can see the dent is almost equal because if you ask me, I prefer Eau Vive. If I have to choose one, it will be Eau Vive. Eau Fraiche is citrusy, it's a little bit woody, and this is the fragrance that even people who are not into citrusy fragrances like. Like, actually, I got complimented with this fragrance, especially the eau de parfum. I prefer the eau de toilette, but for some reason the eau de parfum is a mass-pleasing scent in a way, because I got a lot of compliments with that fragrance for some reason. Eau Vive, on the other hand, is much more citrusy, more bright, more fresh, because it has, if I remember, was it blood orange? Yeah, I think it was a blood orange note that is so beautiful, especially in the opening. It is so refreshing and citrusy and elegant, and this is what I like about it. These kind of very bright, fresh fragrances usually, like, it's strange, but you never associate with elegance. Although it is all of that, it is extremely elegant. Again, Chanel, what can I say? I've never tested a fragrance from Chanel that is not elegant. But if I have to choose one fragrance from the Chance line, I will choose Eau Vive. Now let's get to my beloved Narciso Rodriguez Musc Noir Rose. I have talked so much about this fragrance, recommended it so many times since it was released. It is the closest scent I've ever got to having like a signature scent. Why? Because it has everything. This is just a very easy going, elegant, well-balanced fragrance. It's so beautiful. It has a rose, it has the musk, the signature musk from Narciso. It has a fruity touch, so it's a sweet vanilla. It is just a masterpiece. Now, in total honesty, this did not make it for my top 10 perfumes, most used perfumes for 2024. But there is a reason for it. So mainly this fragrance, when I bought it, I used to complain about the longevity and sillage because it was not what I want. It was a little bit too light. I still loved it, and it didn't bother me much, but I just wanted a little bit more of it. And for a while, I didn't use the fragrance because I've talked about it. I had a co-worker who suffered from migraines. I did not use fragrances for a while. And when I had the time, I preferred testing fragrances. So it was laying for a while without using it. And when I returned to it, oh my God, this has become so strong. I almost choked people and choked myself the first time when I used it, because I sprayed like my usual amount of sprays, and it was definitely too much. And that is why I didn't use it, because since it's now so strong, it's not as versatile as it was for me. So I wonder, should I repurchase Musc Noir, the original one? I decluttered that fragrance because I preferred the Musc Noir Rose, and now I'm thinking I want the versatility again. So should I repurchase Musc Noir? I don't know. I will test it and see. But that doesn't mean that it is dethroned or is not like a fragrance I love anymore. No. Don't get me wrong. This is in my top 10 fragrances for life. I absolutely love it. A masterpiece, as I said. The best from Narciso. Now let's move to the winner. The most used fragrance in my collection, hands down, in every single year. If you know what the fragrance is, please pause this video and write me a comment down below with the name of the fragrance. Mandarin Basilic from Guerlain. Oh my god. Since I purchased this fragrance, and it was quite early in my fragrance journey, I continue to rave about this fragrance. I continue to recommend it. Made it to every single list of top 10 fragrances for life. This is how much I love it. Mandarin Basilic is just this fresh mandarin with some basil. And I am not like an aromatic lover at all. Again, Guerlain. Like the way everything is balanced, this fragrance is so beautiful, so invigorating. The best freshie ever. If I have to choose one fresh fragrance, and it is difficult because I'm a citrusy lover, it will be this one. I can't live without it, especially in the very heat of the summer when it is just humid and sticky and you just don't know what you can do with yourself. This is my go-to. This is for me like drinking a glass of iced water when you are thirsty. I have to mention, when I first tested this fragrance, I was not wowed by it, because when I tested it the first time, it was not in summer time. And I was like, okay, it's nice. Like I didn't dislike it, but I was not sure. Why is this fragrance so special? Until one day I went and tested it when it was extremely hot outside. And oh my God, I bought it immediately and I never looked back. So this is a fragrance that you have to test when it is extremely hot. So you will get the full effect of the beauty of Mandarin Basilic. Love it, love it, love it. I used to have like the 40 version. I just decluttered it because it can't replace this one. I got it because I wanted not an alternative, but also something that is more long lasting. But it didn't make it. Still, the original one is the best. And here you have it. These are my most used fragrances over the year. Tell me in the comments down below, what is your most used fragrance? I'm really, really curious to know your picks. Looking forward to see your comments. If you liked this video, please give it a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel if you didn't already. I will leave a link down below, the declutter video and every single video that I mentioned. You will find everything in the description. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao.